Teasing the librarian a little bit. She looked good in the picture in the paper, and she did, but she kind of, I know she's gotta avoid people kind of type of temperament, but she was in a picture in the paper because it was a great donation that she received from First Nations Art, but I could tell. I said, I was teasing her. I said, I'm not sure if you were red or was the thing behind you. She might have been a bit red. She didn't totally admit to it, but she said she wasn't comfortable. I mean, I'm not mentioning names, but we kind of know. The thing is like, this is the norm, right? People, primates, aren't going to say, what? We're like this. We have to do something about it. So what's the difference? And I tell you, seniority, it's almost reverse in its correlation with having undergone the maturation process. People who just are very uncomfortable with themselves or the roles they're in, and yet expect to keep them with minimal effort. But I said, no, it's good you were in the paper. Donations might come in even more now, or projects, because it just brings you back into the consciousness of the community. Anyways, inside I had to say at the end, no comment, to be politically correct, just because it ended up being 3 people distracting each other, confusing each other. I was clear in returning this. These checking in because I can't renew them, checking back out, and then there's some on hold, and everything goes on the ground when it's grabbed. Other things fell because the elastic, it's complex pulling books out with an elastic around it. And but at the end it's like, next time can you return things at that counter, and then with the same person, these are the place to check out. And then she didn't say we're the twilight zone of returning and then rechecking out. But it's like, I have to adapt to people's intellectual laziness, developmental disabilities, their unwillingness to take ownership of their inabilities to communicate properly at professional levels. And these are people who've been working there for a while now. And their lack of attention span. Because you need confidence to take ownership. And part of the confidence is your attention span, right? Who you are, what you can or can't do. And being in a role where you've demonstrated this and you seek to do it more transparently, then you become the leader of something. But, I said, I'm sitting for a while because I want to go home. I've played badminton and stuff. And I said, you do your things your way. I'm going to sit, but there's always waiting because of their confusion. And it's like, I'm not going to argue with you about how you want to do things, but I'm also not going to be like, taking ownership of what I should have done differently to compensate for your lack of self-awareness or intellectual laziness or developmental disabilities that you all find is so normal that the guy that's not like that has to adapt to you. So no. I said it's not normal that the norm is abnormal. The norm has more potential, and it should be believing in its own potential. It's not my job to love you like you should love yourself, but I can teach you how to do it if you want to make use of my free counseling skills, which are on the posters, including at the library. So, folks, that's me living among you.